Hey, it's Dan McDonald, and I want to thank you for sharing your precious time with me today. I know that it's very valuable. Today, I wanted to go straight into some of the philosophy of health, and I use that title, or a green juice recipe to heal any disease. And I've used that title over and over again because it was actually my most popular video ever. Before I got taken off of YouTube, it had 1.5 million views. So I've used that title over and over and over again. And then I'll just rant and rave. But today, and I know there's people that are desperate with health issues, so feel free to share this video with them. Today I'm going to be making a green juice. Green juice is amazing. Fruit juices are amazing. Whole fruit is amazing. Whole food is amazing. Supplementation is amazing. Nature, outside, exercise, sleep, those are all amazing things. Today we're going to talk about just a green juice, but also how you can heal yourself of any chronic and or acute issues. Acute is like a stuffy nose and a flu. That just means that you ate too much through the holidays, and you're stressed, and your system is just clogged up because the vital force hasn't been able to keep up with the house cleaning. So if you eat too much, especially the wrong kinds of foods, and you don't burn it off with exercise and get proper sleep, and keep your lymphatic system moving, then those metabolic residues from just living, cellular metabolites that come with just living inside of a human organism, if that gets clogged up, then the systems start to shut down because the lymphatic system gets overclogged, the bloodstream starts to coagulate and the circulation diminishes, and then blood isn't getting to all the organs and glands, which then can carry nutrition in and carry waste matter out. So that's why we like to use these green juices to hydrate the tissues, to allow the cell wall to have a permeability. The other thing that's awesome about fresh organic fruits and vegetables is that the living water is a structured water, so it's a lighter water so that it can penetrate those cell walls, which allows for nutrients to get in and waste matter to get out of the cells. Then, once it comes out of the cells, it's got to be moved out through the waste management system, which is the lymphatic, the bloodstream, and the cleansing organs like the liver and the kidneys. So I've got a juice recipe. It's an old DTM classic. I have like 10 classic recipes, juice recipes, that I repeat over and over and over again. Once you've mastered it, you only need really 4, 5, 6 juice recipes with your favorite stuff that you can use as a juice fast or a juice feast or a daily juicing habit is what I recommend to all human beings. It doesn't matter what your diet, it doesn't matter what your religion, it doesn't matter what your geographic location is. The daily juicing habit, some kind of fresh living liquid, okay? So let me just start with the juice, and I'll do my best to share, a whole lifetime of knowledge in as short a time as I can here so that you can start today to clean out your body, to get rid of the inflammation, the congested acids, and the metabolic waste that are associated with acute, which are the kind of the short-term flus and aches and pains that your body is cleansing itself out, and it forces you to rest. And then if you use drugs and surgeries and stimulants to keep moving through those acute conditions, which is your body speaking to you, saying, hey, take care of me, change something, we're out of harmony, we're out of balance, but the world doesn't listen. Your boss doesn't listen, your wife doesn't listen, and the kids aren't going to stop, so it's just going to be, and you got to find a way to prioritize a healthy life for yourself. And if you use the modern suppression methods of the, we've got to be careful with the words here, but the modern institutions, the modern healthcare institutions, okay? If you use those methodologies, which don't work, they do suppress, but they never heal. So if you keep suppressing, then those acute, those become chronic. So just to explain to everyone who's got like long-term chronic conditions, which are the cancers, and the diabetes and things like that, where you just, for whatever reason, there's a lot of reasons. Some of it's just birth, and some small aspects of it are genetic, but usually your habits are what are creating the genetic expression. They say, such and such runs in my family. And I'm like, no, no, no. Your grandmama ate fried chicken, your mama ate fried chicken, and you eat fried chicken. That is not genetics. You can choose to not eat the fried chicken. Now, what's wrong with chicken? You know, I'm not going to go into all that today, but I'm talking about just deep fried stuff. It's not good for your bloodstream. It is not good for your lymphatic system. It is not good for your tissues, and it does not digest well, and it clogs up your gastrointestinal tract, inhibiting absorption and utilization, and it begins the fermentation, festering, putrefaction, and rancification process. So we're trying to get cleaned out. That's how you're going to heal yourself of any dis-ease, to come back into ease, to come back into harmony. So this is a clean green, and I'll just start with there. I wanted to be as clear as I could about that so you could get some ideas, because I know there's a lot of desperate people, because all the disease rates have exploded in the last 2 years. Now, we cannot talk about why they've exploded, but the mechanism is simple to understand. But on these platforms, we're not allowed to discuss that. So you should ask yourself, why is it we're not allowed to discuss these things? Do you know what I mean? And then you can get some inclination on what's really going on underneath. Like, is it nature? And is it God? Or is it mankind for profit? Do you understand? So you want to get well, so you don't have to give another penny to any 3-letter agency or institution unless it's an absolute life and death emergency, okay? So I'm going to make a green juice. This is alkalizing. This is the clean green juice. It's an amazing low sugar green juice, which is good for everybody, but it's particularly good for diabetes, because when you first start out with the diabetes, it's good to start with the real green stuff and start feeding your pancreas and start removing the sludge and the slime that's blocking up the insulin by slowly working your way on more of a low sugar plan till you can get up to and start eating a little bit more fruit while you're monitoring your sugars. That's another big, long discussion. But let's just start. Basically, what I'm trying to do is simplify it for everyone, which is kind of my area of expertise in a way, because, you know, there's complicated this and complicated that and all these tests and all these philosophies. But at the end of the day, if you clean everything out of yourself with the processes of nature by harmonizing yourself and flushing out the system with juices and fruits and living foods, and then all of the debris and metabolic residue is out of the way of the tissues, they can function properly and all your diseases go away. So you don't need to have a whole bunch of heady, mentalizations and explanations. All you got to do is just do it. And that's all I'm saying. Just do it and you'll have the experience, because all the heady knowledge, which is what we worship in this society, is nothing to the experience of it and how well you can feel. And you'll have that experience, you'll clean everything out, and you will just know. You don't need to have all the detailed explanations and understand how many deciliters in your blood and all that stuff. Just get the essence of it, because that's really what you want anyways. Do you need to read a 500-page book on how to be happy? No, you just want to be happy. You know what I'm saying? So just clean yourself out and get healthy, and all the heady mental stuff really feeds the ego, and it makes you it may be tantalizing, but unless you do something with the knowledge and you put it into practice daily, every day, all day, you won't get the results that you need. So that's enough of me ranting and raving. Just wanted to trying to, because you have to have some of the understanding of what's going on here. I try to be quick because I know people just want the information. So so in other words, there was this gentleman that's kind of inspired this video. I have cancer. Just shut up and tell me the recipe. And I think, okay, yes, you want the recipe, but it's not just the recipe, it's also the understanding. So what would I do on that video? Because it was a lemon ginger blast video. So what would I do on that video? Say, for example, okay, mister with cancer, you know what I'd do is I'd make 3 lemon ginger blasts, or 4. I would drink a gallon of lemon ginger blast and blast as many enzymes as possible, as you can afford. That's what I do. You mean just all day, every day, just drink nothing but lemon ginger blast and take enzymes? For how long? Days, weeks, months? Yeah, exactly. That's what I would do, because it'll be gone. And your doctor will be like, holy crap, what did you do? Oh, this crazy guy on YouTube. And they'll be like, no, 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 that's impossible. That didn't happen. You know, but it does happen. And it happens every day. And your doctor won't understand it. But it's simple, basic, plain common sense. In a way, it's energy obstruction. It's metabolic residue. You got to get it out of there. You got to forgive everyone. You got to love yourself, because there's so many energy blocks. You've got to let life flow through you and accept yourself and be as you are and be honest with yourself and your mind and your heart and your body, so you can get all this stuff, so you can get the life force flowing back through you. That's what the living foods and the juicing is all about, okay? So keep watching my videos, learn from other people, you know, try these holistic, natural, common sense approaches, which are older than the hills. And then the sickness for profit industry will never help you. That's like a rat on a wheel chasing a carrot. You'll never get there. You know what I'm saying? Amen. Thank you. This is the clean green. It is cucumber, kale, cucumber, whoa, kale, cilantro, and dill. Lots of dill. Dill is an amazing herb. So is cilantro. So is kale, very nutritive. And the cucumber is the living water and the highly alkalizing minerals. Okay, I better get a little bigger here. Cool. This is kind of a little weird situation. I got to reach up really high, but we're making it do, right? Because we got to get these people healthy. We got to get everybody healthy, because there's a force in the world, an evil force that wants to make everyone sick. It thrives off of sickness, pain, suffering, and death. And that's the old spiritual war, you know? That's the old spiritual war. It's the oldest, you know, conundrum of life, right? And if you want to be healthy, happy, and vibrant, you got to follow certain rules. And like I said, there are entities and energies on this planet that thrive off of sickness, pain, suffering, and death. And that's the nature of many of these industries, as we've all learned, and agencies over the last 3 years. Now do you get it? Why I've been telling everyone all these years? Go home and become your own doctor. If you don't become your own doctor, you will never get well. Yes, there are some good doctors that are doing nutritional stuff and health stuff and lifestyle stuff, but you have to do it yourself. If it's an easy way, which I understand, you go in there, you get a pill, you take that pill, the vital force focuses on the pill now, and that pill suppresses the awareness of your body trying to send a red signal to you. So basically the pill is basically you or your doctor putting a little piece of black tape over the check engine light. That's what the pain was for. That's what the disease is. The disease is the check engine light. Hey, it hurts down here. Can you change your lifestyle? Quit stressing out. Quit eating so much of this, that, and the other. All these processed junk foods and stuff. You're overeating and you're under-exercising. And then you use coffee to kind of whoop the tired adrenals, to whoop the tired horse. If you eat these clean, light, simple foods that digest easily, you won't need to use stimulants to get through your day. And that's the modern world with our overeating and gluttony is the reason why everybody needs to, that's why coffee is the #1 drug in the world. And then you have all these websites, the benefits of coffee and all this crap. And I'm not saying that there isn't some potential for a little bit of this and that for some coffee, but it's really what makes you stimulated by the coffee. It's the poisons in it. So you're poisoning yourself to quicken the metabolism so that you eliminate poison faster, and then you get a buzz off of it, and then it wipes out your adrenals. That ain't cool, man. Just get more sleep. Everyone's exhausted, and I refuse, man. I lay at the beach And I'm like, you know what, I'll do it tomorrow. I know I'm a bad example. Everyone's type A in this society. Hurry, 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 get more stuff. I'm like, hurry, 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 get rid of as much as you can and simplify everything so you can just be. And that's the key. I'm telling you, man, it's like, well, what are we going to do on your retreat, DTM? We're not going to do anything. We're going to put the phones away, and we're going to go to the beach, and we're going to sleep. Well, what's that? What's worth money is that? You know, I want to do all kinds of stuff. You already do all kinds of stuff. Everybody's already too busy. You need to learn the DTM chill out lifestyle. I'm telling you, man, I'm the one. I'm stoked. I tried to be the whole deal with all the run, 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 kill yourself, trying to think your way through. No, misery. Dude, be happy, live a simple life, downsize. Especially in this world, and we're all going to downsize anyways over the next couple of years because of the nature of the economy and the whole, you know, whatever the delivery systems, what you call that, supply chain, and everything else that's going on. So we might as well downsize now and get used to it, because we see that all that stuff never led to happiness anyways. You see what I'm saying? Now everyone's starting to wake up. And that's the beauty of everything that's gone on the last few years, is that people got red-pilled and they got really prioritized, you know? Look at that dill. Amazing. Fresh. Dill is an amazing herb. It's one of the most mucus-dissolving herbs. It's really good for the lungs and the lymphatic system. Not only that, it tastes fantastic. It's got some incredible essential oils in there. That's what you get when you juice up a lot of these aromatic herbs, are the essential oils. You can also use essential oils. That's a whole nother video. I have a whole bunch of oral essential oils that I take. I should make a video about that. But just one drop of frankincense in your lemon ginger blast, and it cleans your brain out, you know. So there's a whole lot, but you have to use only certain, there's only one brand that I use, as a matter of fact. I'll make a video of that, because and then there's other essential oils that you can use to relax your nervous system. Take a drop of lavender. But most of the brands I wouldn't even use. There's only a couple of brands that are really worth it. Okay, what we got? So I like to strain this here. And I have my little 1 gallon pitcher. So that's exactly what I was aiming for, except I forgot one last thing, and that is a lemon. So I apologize for that, but I just didn't have it up here. But yeah, a lemon really makes this, takes it over the top, makes it an amazing juice drink. And the lemon is also very good. All the citrus is really good for dissolving mucus, especially with the lemon peel, only if it's organic. And I highly recommend anyone healing from disease, obviously, and anyone, anywhere, every time, all the time. I've been organic for, like, God knows, 2.5 decades or so, you know. I've read about it, and I was like, pesticides and all that crap, and I was like, hell no, I'm not having that. So I gave all that up, and I'm really glad I did, because I don't have any of the weird stuff. I don't have man boobs, you know. I still have virility, vitality, and all the chemicals, they diminish you. So there's chemicalization, which disrupts all the organs and glands and clogs up the liver and the kidneys and the brain. And then there's just excessive eating and metabolic residues, which is just sludges up all the pipes. And then there's no circulation to the watershed areas in the body, and you lose circulation, and you lose dexterity, and you lose sensitivity in the watershed areas of the heart, the watershed areas in the lung, and especially the watershed areas in the brain that only have one line of blood, a very tiny little, thinner than a hair, blood vessels that deliver blood and oxygen to those deep recesses in your body. And as soon as you eat too much sludge, slime, cooked high-fried oils and stuff like that, it just clogs up, and you just get lower and lower and lower. Honey, and then you get dementia, Alzheimer's, sluggish, sloth, memory loss, brain damage, heart occlusions, and everything else. So there we go. That's that. That's number one. Now, here's the second step. This is my little, so I'm going to share with you my version of it. This is kind of the Hawaiian version, which means I have like all this free coconut water. So I'll take it, and you can do this too. Obviously, if you tried to get like enough young coconuts to get this much water, it'd cost you about, $40. But you can get some Costco coconut water and cut this just a little bit. Get this Costco water without sugar, the Costco coconut water without sugar, or just take one young Thai coconut, put that in here, then save the meat and make that into yogurt or a dressing for your salad at night. But on this one, see, if I was going to do it like this, I would put a few more cucumbers so that it's not too concentrated on the greens. You don't need to be too concentrated. It's not like more is better, but it is actually just the consistency. Every day, day in, day out, drinking, alkalizing, hydrating, detoxifying, regenerating the cells. Day in, day out, persistence. Doesn't matter what anyone else says. Oh, you're going to die from all that rabbit food. Let's go out and get a cheeseburger. So the world's delusional. They're like, oh my God, you're going to eat cucumbers? You're going to juice dill? That's terrible for you. You're going to die of nutritional deficiencies. Let's go get a cheeseburger. Let's go to McDonald's and get some protein. So the world is delusional. The whole thing's been screwed over by the people that make a lot of money off sickness and food pyramids and falsehood. And so the society's never going to catch up. You got to do it. You got to be aware. You got to take care of yourself. Your friends aren't going to get it. Your family's not going to get it until they're desperate. And then a lot of times they're not going to be able to get it. And they're going to die. And so you want to live. You want to be healthy. So I just cut this a lot with this coconut water here. But if you don't have coconut water or you don't have that much, just take a couple more cucumbers. And it's also nice to add celery to this recipe. But the celery, by the time it gets all the way over here to Hawaii, celery doesn't grow well in Hawaii. And by the time it gets over here, it's just lost its vitality. So I don't even use it in this juice. But if you're on the mainland, you're getting fresh celery. It's way more fresher. It was picked a few days ago. And it's just a lot better to use that. And it's nice in this recipe as well. So what you do with this one is I have a bunch of protocols, and I'm not going to be able to get into those now because I wanted to be quick. But just use this in your daily repertoire. And if anyone's interested, it'll take me an hour or an hour and a half to go through one protocol of morning, noon, night, dinner, and what supplements you can take and stuff for these protocols that I've got. So today, just what I'm saying to everyone is get a juicer and use it every day. And drink fresh juice and eat fresh food and buy organic and go outside and play and have fun and enjoy your life and forgive everyone and love everyone and get back into a natural, wholesome lifestyle and eliminate everything that's stressful and eliminate superfluous crap in your life and simplify so you can focus on your health, And I don't know if that went well or not. Let's see here. Yes. Okay, cool. And that's that. So thanks for joining me for today's episode of the artist formerly known as the Liferegenerator show. Take care of yourselves. I hope you learned something today. I try to make these as short as I can, but there's a vast reservoir of knowledge, and I have thousands of consults under my belt, so I just have so many questions in there that people have, and then I try to make these short, easily absorbable videos. So thank you. God bless your health, and I appreciate you spending your time with me today. Okay? I wish you all the luck in the world on this journey to the top of the mountain. Peace.